Hello, my name is Troy White. I'm a financial planner and investment manager with the financial firm Hoodoo Financial. Today, I am coming to you to discuss another financial planning and investment related concept topic. I have some notes we're going to follow, and I'm going to start off by telling you something that was on my mind and and is the reason why I am discussing these topics today. So the my notes are we're going to cover the why questions of financial services and investments. But first I want to cover why you need to even hear these. Why you should concern yourself with financial services, investments, and improving your assets and your financial condition, your economic circumstances. That is it is summarized in the fact that I was watching the coverage of the Mueller report the other day, and in fact, I made all these notes on it while I was watching it, and I wanted to talk about this, but as I go over in my notes, no, that's a little too militant. I don't want to say all of those things. But that was in the heat of the moment as I was writing that. But now that I've had a couple of days to, you know, gather my thoughts, I understand that the best way to respond to this type of thing is to continue doing what I've been doing, and that's trying to educate people like you. If you're listening to me, you are exactly who I've been trying to target. So educate people like you on the things you need to do to combat stuff like that. Now, stuff like what? I don't really care what Trump did. What is important to me is the spotlight that's being shined on it. And I'm going to assume that nothing will ever happen to this guy and the minions that he has around him, because we understand how things work. And we understand a little bit better than anyone else on this nation's soil. And so I don't expect anything to happen to him. But what I expect is for you to pay attention. And since in this circumstance, the target has not been on our back, the target, ironically, is on the Arabs, Muslims' back, or the Mexicans' back. Now, regardless of how you feel about that, it's an opportunity for you to sit back and observe from a safe distance and be reminded how much humanity is not in the individuals who are at the controlling levers of the government of this nation. And I hate saying, oh, the government, the government, the government. It just is what it is. So what I'm trying to say is it's important that we pay attention and see what's going on and use this as a wake-up call. Like the phrase, oh, we are woke, right? Are you paying close attention? Do you really understand the gravity? Do you see how, this paperwork shuffle is really how it all works? Slavery itself was not one law. It was hundreds of laws. It was a system that was created, by all of them, including those who keep their mouth shut and just go along to get along. And That's the way that Donald Trump is allowed to do the things he is allowed to do, by others saying, "Oh, well, that's terrible," just crying and whining. But they are, really allowing these things to happen. And what I mean is that I'm trying to point out to you that it's the mindset of what is happening. It's, you might say, well, that's not as bad as this or that. Slavery was one thing, but locking up, taking children at the border and putting them in cages and never to see their parent again, that's something different, because their mama brought them across the border and they shouldn't have become, I don't care about them anyway, or something like that, right? Well, if that's how you feel, that's fine. I'm just telling you to, hey, pay attention. You see that happening over there? That's how it happened. Little by little, until they got you. And maybe you've never been in a situation where an injustice was happening to you and there was no get back. Maybe the police never treated you in such a way to where you could feel that you are less than, and your rights, and even that, man, rights, we this is not, you know what, in reality, you don't live in America, you live on earth. Earth has never respected rights. um, Through all of human civilization, these words on paper have never meant nothing. They 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 provide a general guideline, but these are human beings. Don't put all your faith in the paperwork. Remember, there's a thin line of that's called a thin veil of civilization. It could go away tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, because of some political episode. You know, I'll stop there with that. But those concerns are what motivate me to continuously bring you finance and financial planning, economic investment, entrepreneurship information. I believe those are key components of what is required for us to prosper. In fact, I'll take it a step further. I have a personal motto. I believe in books and bullets, mutual funds and guns. So, that's life on earth. I mean, not the American, the South America. Remember, in Rwanda was the Tutsis and the Hutus, all out genocide. And in Bosnia Herzegovina, all out genocide. Those are Caucasians. Um, the Irish Republican Army versus their next door neighbors, Christians versus Protestant or something like that. All out war. So, and we're from this soil. You know what depths they will go. Know how they will violate you. It's important that you pay attention to what's being said that's intelligent around you. It's no joke. Anyway, I'm sorry to deaden the mood. Let's get into some finance and investment. But this is just the basis of my concerns, man. I apologize for preaching and I'm not trying to use scare tactics. I'm just telling this current events, man. Just pay attention to what's happening, man. It's not no Republican Democrat thing. We know neither one of them is no good. It's just an opportunity for you to take a look and see what's happening, for you to smack yourself and say, oh yeah, I've been asleep. It's time to wake up and pay attention. And the reality is that you need to be in charge. That's the only way to protect your back, is to be in charge. Because if we're not running it, they're going to be trying to run us. And we don't like the direction that they go. So, we're going to cover some questions today. The why of financial services and investments. So, I got some of these I just wanted to talk about. They might be helpful. Let's start. First, why have you never met a stockbroker? I'm presuming a lot, right? Obviously, some of you have, but that's just a lead into the statistics tell me you have not. The statistics are that there are 8% of African Americans in the financial services industry. So only a percentage of that 8% are in the sales situation. And when I say stockbroker, they don't even call them stockbrokers no more. It's a registered representative. It's an investment advisory representative. And that's because the game has changed. But fundamentally, what I mean is how many times have you met a person who is coming to you to help change your financial circumstances for the good? For the vast majority of African American people, the answer is going to be never. And that's not, it's obviously a racial component to that, but it's not because of racism. Here's why. The financial services community has always been based on the workers, the corporations receiving some commission for doing something for you, embedded in everything. And so therefore they need to gather large numbers of assets. And since the African American population has been known to not have assets, there was never a reason for them to target you as a client. And since there were no African Americans involved in the industry in their capacity, there was no natural connection to anyone in the African American community to bring this information to you. So, in a nutshell, let me put it in layman in Ebonic terms. The white stockbrokers didn't know none of y'all. Didn't have no reason to come to y'all because none of y'all had no money. So why they gonna be walking through your neighborhood where they don't know nothing about nothing? They don't even know where to find you. They don't have no social interaction with you, whether they wanted to or not. This is the country has consistently throughout our history been segregated. So there wasn't much opportunity for them to connect with you if you did have resources. And as far as the information that was delivered to them, the information is that your life is all bad and that you don't have the resources that they could even work with. So consequently, you would never come into contact with someone who can help you change your financial circumstances for the good. The only entity that you come across was a bank. Now, one of my questions is, why do you use a bank? But that's the third one. I'm gonna get to that one too. Hopefully we get there, right? So right now, the question is, why have you never met a stockbroker? So the reason you never met one is because there was never a social connection to you with with the stockbroker, because probably he was a Caucasian. And if he was an African American, only 8% of this industry is comprised of African Americans. And the contact person, the person who would come into contact with you, is only a percentage of that 8%, even if we said a quarter of that 8%. So now we're talking, what is that, 2% of the population would be able, if my math is right, forgive me, mathematicians out there if my math is wrong, 2% of the African American population was available to contact you. So if you're not connected to that 2%, you was not likely to come across this information or come to contact with someone in the role similar to or specifically a stockbroker. All right. So then you're just never going to be able to have access to become an investor if you're not going to have access to the individuals who can help you. All right. So it's a racial component to that, but it wasn't overt racism. Nobody, because believe me, in the financial services industry, they don't care what race you is. They'll smile all day in your face. If you got money, trust me, those people, whether they are racist at home or not, they are not racist when they're going to interact with you. They will smile to death in your face to access your money, and it will help you grow your money. So it's not really a racism thing that will prevent you from doing that. It's just a structural thing. The industry wasn't set up to help broke African Americans. Straight up. All right, next bullet. How can I save money when I have no money? Sick of hearing that. But because that's the first one that every client always say. I mean, unless you already understand saving. Because a lot of my clients, I am introducing to the concept of even improving your financial life. The concept of living anything other than day to day and trying to get a better job so you can squeeze in another 50 to $100 a month. That's pretty much the financial plan of most people. And so when I bring these concepts, the first pushback, understand that if I have to bring the information to you, I already understand you about to fight. You're gonna fight me. You're gonna hate this information I'm bringing to you. It never fails. Everyone always battles the information. And the first thing is, well, I don't have enough money. So how can I save money when I have no money? Right? The first thought, I don't got no money to invest. Almost like, man, get away, boy, you bother me. I don't got no money. Like I'm begging from them, where I'm bringing you information and the platform, the pathway for action to improve your own self. But I gotta damn near beat you up and force you to help yourself. You remember in Ice Cube movie, Barbershop, and he tried to bring back the money to dude that got like 20,000 from. he sold his spot, and then he tried to give him back the money. Dude, and then his henchman was chasing him through the neighborhood, hitting fences, talking about, "You gonna take this money? You gonna take this money?" That's how it is. That's how I have to be with clients. No, you gonna make some money. You gonna improve your finances. You gonna get rich, fool. I'm gonna make you rich. That's how it is, because the whole time the client is kicking and screaming. Don't believe a word I say. Believe this is hogwash, impossibility. There's no way that I could ever improve my finances because I've been broke. I'm broke, and I'm always broke. And at the end of the month, I'm broke. So for you, understand that I know that's your answer. You're wrong though, and only the people who have a little faith and try budgeting and try the tools and the simple strategies and tactics, and who are willing to invest time and take it on as an obligation and as a part of their duty to themselves, their family, their legacy, their country, the country that they built, that their family built. Your country, it's your obligation. We put too much pain and blood and sweat and tears into this for you to mess it up. It's your responsibility to take it. I'm getting mad again, and I apologize. How can I save money when I have no money? You do have money. You're lying to yourself. You're in a broke ass person's mentality, and you're stuck in it, and it's telling you that constantly. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, man. So understand, for you to live in this country, money is being made. I don't care. Money is passing through you. even if you on welfare, I'm telling you, let's say worst case scenario, right? You're a single mother on welfare and you got Section 8. Oh yeah? You could use your Section 8 and get you an investment property, a 4-unit property that's paying for itself. You are, if you are on welfare, then you could be using that time to study up what you need to be doing. You can get a laptop for $100 at Walmart, and you could take a class online to learn the code. So you could be getting your coding certification. You could be making 100 G's in a year or two. So anyway, there's a path for everyone to bubble. So how can I save money when I have no money? So what I'm telling you is that through proper budgeting and consistently using financial planning tools that you can learn just from listening to my videos, from going to the library and studying if you want, from typing it up on your phone and reading and getting the information exists. There's no excuse on that level. But any help you need, you could even contact me. I'm going to direct you to, even if you say, man, I can't pay you nothing. All right, I'll send you something. Say that. Say, hey, man, I need to learn about X and I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't paying you a dime. You know what? I mean, if you said it nice, I'm not turning you away. I'm not turning you away. So I know that's always the answer that you're gonna give, is that you don't have no money, but I can show you how to create some money, how to dig some money. I don't care how much. I know it'll hurt sometimes, but it's gonna hurt. It's gonna feel better in a short amount of time, and it's gonna help you. I won't dive into the budgeting conversation right now. All right, next bullet. Why do you use a bank? I'm not an advocate of people using banks, your personal banking. First of all, I'm not going to go too much into it right now, but it's on record, the discrimination that banks have had towards African Americans. It's laws in effect to try to force them to do good. And even still, they'll find ways to shovel off that responsibility, to sprinkle dollars in another direction to compensate for that requirement that they do good. And I'm speaking about the Community Reinvestment Act. If you want to know specifically, go look it up. Community Reinvestment Act. It requires banks to invest in the community. And often, not even often, the way they usually invest in the community is by investing in another company that's in the community, which may or may not contribute to your community. So, but also in the terms of your money needs to be at work doing making its highest and best use, most effective use at all times. So when overnight, during the week, during the day, why is your money sitting in the bank? Only what you need to have access to and or pay your bills. First of all, the only reason you need a bank is to store your money, and only the money that somewhat is revolving, the money that comes in and goes out according to the budget in terms of your survival, your basic human needs. Beyond that is saving and investing. So if there's any extra in your account at the end of the month, well, you were not putting your money to its highest and most effective use. This bank account ain't gonna give you much. So I'm not an advocate of a bank account. If you was my client, I'm not gonna hate on your bank, because currently I don't have that solution for you. But what I will have is that, because I just don't have enough clients to support it right now, but What I have lined up is a connection with the bank to provide a debit card, so that I just this debit card for storing of your basic, using it as a bank, as a bank, and anything above what you're going to need for your bill pay, we're going to have all automatic bill pay. Anything above that should be invested anyway. So I'm not one that believes in idle dollars sitting around, you know, and so that's on the horizon. But you can do that now. I do. I have a bank account, but I haven't used my Walmart card in a while. But for a long time, during the whole recession, I was using Walmart. I was using Walmart card. All my money was just in there. But I had business accounts in the bank, and but outside of that, Walmart. Also, those who African American man, hey, if you, we'll talk about this more too, but using the debit card is a tactic that you're going to need when you have uh, these child support garnishments and things like that. Those will be your best friend. And there are some strategies that that you're going to have to be aware of. And I'm doing my research and trying to understand it thoroughly and the best tactics for you. But I understand, for a black man, this is, you know, you got too many baby mamas, dude. And so all, them kids amount to a lot of bills, and this is a monkey on your back. I understand it. That's one of the common problems that African American men mention when they say that they don't have any money to invest. But what I want to point out to you is that your retirement assets can't be garnished. So investing inside your retirement account is the play for you. And remember, we were talking on my other videos, I want you to study up on self-directed IRAs as well, where you can put real estate inside your IRA account. So it's a lot of things you can do when you have that monkey on you, that child support monkey on your back, because we need to reduce your your taxable income. Also, it's a lot of things we need to talk about on that. Well, we're gonna close the door when we talk about that. So we was talking about, why do you use a bank? It's because you don't know any better. That's basically the answer. We got a few more minutes to go. Why do you need an advisor? I mean, that's the other bullet. So, well, that's obvious, man. You don't know all the tools, all the techniques, or all the investments that are available to you, and how to use those at the proper time, in the proper sequence, the proper order, and how to align all of your assets, how to do the analysis, and so it's a matter of, let the professional do what the professional does for you. And a lot of times you want to go out and just be a stock picker. Well, I'm gonna do it myself, and all right, more power to you. When you realize that that's not gonna get you where you're trying to go, if you ever do, then holla at me and I can help you. Why do you need financial literacy? Same as why you need an advisor. Even if you have a finance professional working for you, I would say, especially if you have a finance professional working for you. For one, that means you're concerned about your finances. Second, means now you have someone who is in a leadership role to assist you, but you better know what the hell is going on. They can tell you anything they want to, and you just be walking around like, oh yeah, he said this and that and this. Use a couple of big words. I've seen it happen. Whereas the person saying the word, what? It happened to me today. Talking to some people, they trying to, I don't want to say too much, because they'll know they'll know how I feel about that conversation. But people don't underestimating your knowledge and ability, and he literally don't know who he talking to, and trying to tell me about why I should buy some real estate or something, right? And yeah, whatever. So, but that's my point is why you need financial literacy, because otherwise people will tell you anything. You fall for any old okey doke. You say, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it's not that anyone was telling me anything that is untrue. It's just that you are only concerned with how things affect your circumstances. How it is in general in the world is great foundational knowledge, but when it comes to getting advice about actions, your financial actions. All right, we ain't talking about theory no more. How does it pertain to your situation? We just not talking now. We're not talking about what was said on YouTube, because that's generalization. That's a general statement. So how does this pertain to your personal circumstance is why you need an advisor and why you need financial literacy. And we're going to be out of time. So I'm going to cut it right there and be respectful of your time. And I got some work to do. So thanks for listening. I appreciate you much. Hit like, hit share. Hopefully you know somebody who could use this type of information. If so, send it to them. But if you want to contact me, account support at Hoodoo Financial. HOODOO is how you spell Hoodoo. And check out my website, hoodoofinancial.com. Like and share whatever wherever you're watching this at. Thank you very much. Holler back.